Hey everybody, this is Sunstar in Spirit. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found my video. It may mean that the messages that I have today are for you. So these are timeless tarot and oracle messages for the viewer. And so viewer, if these messages, if you find that they don't resonate with you, they should for the most part, but if they don't, that's okay. You might need to check another video for your messages or wait until the next video finds you, and that may be the answer for you or the messages for you. So let's get into it. All right, let's see. What do we want to do first here? So what are the messages for the viewer? What are the messages for the viewer today? Oh, we have the Strength card, the number 8 coming out. Okay. This is all about taming the ego. Okay. And I don't mean ego like you're egotistical. I mean your ego self. Um, the non-higher self that's making decisions, that's kind of behind the wheel, is the ego. Okay. And so with that, I just want to let you know that you have to trust your heart more. Okay. It's not, sorry, camera. So it's not really about kind of like manhandling the situation, so to speak. Like, strength card makes us think, well, we need to be strong. And I don't think that at all. I think what's happening is you need to tame your ego a little bit. Okay. And the ego is, going to sit there and say, well, you need to do this, or they're going to think that you're not whatever, fill in the blank. You need to do this, or they're going to think that you're weak. Okay. That's not what it is. Okay. You're not weak. Being strong sometimes is just not listening to that voice that's telling us that if we don't do something, there's a consequence, right? There's a negative consequence if we don't do exactly, what we think we should do. And we're not listening to our intuition, and we're not kind of tapping into our feeling about the situation. Okay, so let's see what else. What else do we need to know? What else for the viewer? Oh, Lord, that one just went right off the screen. Okay, so we have the Fool card. Perfect, right? This is saying take a leap of faith, embrace your inner child. So we not only just have the higher self coming out and saying, hey, listen to me for a minute here, stop listening to the ego. Don't let the ego control you. We also have the inner child saying, hey, I have some important things for you too. It's not just about wrestling down the ego for the higher self to be able to be heard. Your inner child needs to be heard too. Okay? This is like a new beginning for you. The Fool card it's about taking a leap of faith, even though we may not, and I feel, viewer, that it's about you not having faith in yourself. Okay? And that's where you have the ego coming in and saying, you need to do this, or people are going to think this, or you need to go and act a certain way, or else they'll judge you. And it's like, no, ego, stop that. Because the Fool card tells me a lot about you need to take a leap of faith and have faith in yourself. So it's not just about the wrestling down that ego so you can hear your higher self giving you that wisdom, that guidance. It's also about honoring your inner child, right? You strip away all that ego crap, right? All of the judgments and all of that, like that thinking about, where you're less than or where you're not enough, and all of that stuff. And we have to remember that embracing the inner child, that feeling of just like that safety, right? Like the safety that we're looking for, feeling like we are being seen and heard and honored and safe. That's so important to us. And most of us don't take the time to really like meet with our inner child, right? Like there's some techniques that you can use with certain energy healing and things like that that put you in contact with your inner child, and it can really be very healing just to visualize that you're meeting this child version of yourself and using that to do some work on, hey, I'm safe and I'm cared for and I'm loved, right? And unfortunately, not everybody is lucky enough to feel that way when they wake up every morning. Some of us wake up in the morning and we think, I'm not good enough. Nothing I do is going to be good enough. If I don't do this, I'm going to suffer and all of these things. And it's like, whoa, just like, let's wrestle that down a little bit. Let's honor the other parts of ourselves, right? Like not just this physical daily, machine that we are in, right? It's what does my higher self say? What do I need to listen for? What is my intuition telling me? And also, what does my inner child need? What are my basic needs that I really need to figure out in order to progress, right? Let's see what else. Okay. What else for the viewer? What else for the viewer? Does the viewer need? What else? Okay. We all need we all need love, right? So the the wild rose fairy is here to bring you a message about being loved, loving yourself, right? This like basic need that we have, that we are honored and seen and loved at our childlike basic level, our innermost vulnerable self. That's where we need the love, right? The ego can love itself like all it wants, right? And but you don't need that superficial stuff. What you want is that true, real inner safety, love, support. Okay. So Wild Rose Fairy is just bringing you this message. And, you know, roses are a symbol of love. The Wild Rose Fairy is just trying to remind us that sometimes we need to tap back in to remind ourselves that we love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we are capable of feeling love for others, and they are capable of providing love back to us. Okay. So that means, like, you know, honoring yourself, taking the leap of faith in yourself, right? And not worrying about what other people think. Like the ego is telling us to worry about what everybody thinks, what we're doing, what we're saying, how we're acting, what we believe in, what our political views, all that stuff. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter to your higher self. It doesn't matter to your inner child. They just want the basics, the love. Okay. That's the basics. That's what they need. Okay. What else, Spirit? What else for the viewer? Oh, this one. The Raven. Magic. Coincidence. Synchronistic events. Are you getting signs, viewer? You might be getting signs about something. I'm really feeling that you've been getting these signs and you've heard them, but you're not honoring them. Okay. Like the ego sometimes can really do a number on our intuition and the messages that we know that we are receiving from spirit, from our higher self, and from the inner child. Okay. So yeah, the raven is typically a messenger, right? They're a messenger from the other world. They want you to pay attention to the signs and symbols that they're sending you so that you can get on your path, right? You're on your personal path to fulfill your purpose. So like, to hell with what your ego is telling you, right? You're not good enough. You're not going to make it. This isn't meant for you. You're going to fail. Don't listen. You got to get a hold of this ego, wrestle that ego to the ground, get in your heart space, okay? And get in that infinite feeling of love, okay? And it's like a new beginning, right? I've got like the new moon energy in the background here. And then we have the Fool card, okay? That's all about a brand new beginning and getting in touch with our inner child, fulfilling our basic needs so that we can reframe, okay? We need to reframe what's good, right? What's good to me? What's my you know, scale of what I can do? What is my best, right? Get that, you know, get that communication going, get that feeling of being supported and safe going, because it's just making room for you to have more love for yourself and for others. And then you'll be able to hear these messages that you're needing to hear, right? From your intuition, from your spirit. Okay. Really important there. Really important to listen to those messages when they come. I mean, you got to follow it. You got to follow those signs. You got to follow those intuitions. Stop letting yourself rationalize the things that are making sense to you and making them not make sense anymore, right? Like, this is what the ego does. You didn't really get that message. That was just a coincidence. Okay. What did I say? The raven, coincidence? There aren't actually any coincidences. It's not about coincidence. It's about feeling your connection with spirit and what it is trying to tell you, right? And it's saying, Stop doubting yourself. Get your new beginning, right? Get in touch with your higher self and your inner child. Do that work. And then the messages will come through and you will know that they are true. You won't even question them anymore because you're getting them from a place of love. And yep, here we go. We've got the Judgment card. You got your spiritual awakening coming out of this. So the reason why your ego is trying so super hard to make you doubt yourself and doubt what you're capable of, doubt what you're hearing, okay? Not feeling safe, not feeling supported, not feeling your connection with spirit. You're waking up now, okay? So that wake up call, here it is. Get a higher perspective. Find your North Star, find your goal, right? And then the love will support you in there, right? Finding your way back to love is going to help turn off that ego of doubt, that ego voice of doubt, of having no faith in yourself. And then you're going to finally get the messages, right? You're going to get the messages that you know are there waiting for you. As long as you take that leap of faith and get more faith in yourself, okay? Stop worrying about the opinions of other people. It comes from you. You make yourself valid. You make yourself count, okay? You judge yourself, okay? The ego doesn't do that for you. All it does is give you a bunch of challenges to get over. Right here, okay? The new beginning. Waking up to you, what you need to do. Okay. Let's get one more. Yeah? Okay. What else? One last card for the viewer. What does the viewer need to know? What else for the viewer? This one. 8 of Pentacles. So spending a lot of time on this work. Okay. This is not an easy fix. You're starting to get these feelings, these messages, this awakening is approaching you. Okay. The Strength card is telling me that you are really doubting yourself. You're doubting that you're getting messages. You're doubting that you're good enough. Okay. The 8 of Pentacles just tells me that you have some work to do there. And we know that, right? We all have work to do. We all have to like do the work on ourselves so we can get to a good place, right? Do the inner child work. If you've been hearing messages about getting in touch with your inner child, figuring out where your inner child is not feeling supported, safe, and secure, that's your work. And it might take you a couple months or more, a couple years. Sometimes it takes people years and years to get through this stuff. But it's important that you start somewhere with this leap of faith and getting your new beginning going. And that new beginning is getting a hold of that ego, telling it you're not going to hear what it has to say anymore, realizing that you have a higher perspective and an inner perspective, okay? And that is where you need to put your trust, okay? Do the inner child work. Get in touch with your higher self. That's where the love is going to guide you on your path to fulfill your purpose, okay? So stop listening to that ego. You are getting signs, okay? You are getting signals. They are trying to show you your path. And all that doubt is just creating delays, right? So get in it, okay? Figure it out. Figure out how to get that ego under control. I hope that was helpful, viewer.